So today's training is going to be about that every single part of success or failure in your life, in health, wealth, fun, fitness, finance, relationships, happiness, or anything in between, comes down to this one fundamental fact. And some of you aren't going to like it. The one fundamental fact is that you are responsible for it. Everything in your life. And I'll come on to why it's so true. Because initially, some of you are going to be triggered and you're going to say, well, this thing happened in my past and that wasn't my fault. So how can I be responsible for it? Because you've got it the wrong way around. Okay? You're letting the external world control your internal world. You can't change what happens out there, but you can change how you respond to it. So you are responsible for everything in your life, not your parents, not your ex, not your current partner, not your teachers, not your past mentors, not anyone in the world. Certainly not society. Just you. And if you're still maybe in a little bit of a place where you think things are other people's fault, then you're wrong. And until you can take ownership and responsibility of that, you're going to stay stuck without any shadow of a doubt. And the big turning point is, right? As soon as you can fully accept this, as soon as you can drop the BS about why you think it's different for you, about why where you are is someone else's fault, you will absolutely skyrocket in every area of your life. The downside is, as long as you continue to keep telling that story, you're going to stay stuck forever. I say this all the time on private therapy calls. I'll call people straight out. I'll say, it sounds to me like you're looking for someone to blame. Yeah. Instant trigger, instant want to fight. It sounds to me like are you looking for somebody to blame? Because as long as you are, you'll always stay stuck. Like, I absolutely promise you that with every bean of my heart. I'll post it in the group later as well. Like the entire 2 podcasts that I did, the one I did ages ago with Joshua Pearson about overcoming adversity, and the one I recently did with Tom Talks when we went really deep into, discussing depression and suicide and addictions and everything else. Like, I didn't have any control over what went out on that podcast, and he chose to entitle it "Stop Lying to Yourself." I stopped lying to myself. That's how I changed my life, or something. So that's what he picked up. So again, if you feel attacked, right? I only know this shit because I used to do it. Everything in my life was someone else's fault. Couldn't possibly be my fault that I went out and did 3 bags of the devil's dandruff again and got into a scrap. How could that possibly be my fault? That was because something that happened to me when I was younger. What a sack of crap. Couldn't possibly be my fault that I'm overweight. I mean, I didn't make the decision to eat the food. It's because of something in my inner child. Couldn't possibly be my fault that all my relationships in the past have gone wrong. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, all 10 were obviously, clearly the female's fault, weren't they? Rubbish, right? Whatever it is we're struggling with, I've struggled with all of those and everything else in between. Right? We have to take responsibility. And this isn't about blaming yourself. It's not about shaming yourself. It's not about making yourself feel bad. It's about taking the fucking power back. That's what it's about. And this comes down to energy and state, which we're going to come on to. Nobody can make you feel a certain way because nobody controls your internal apart from you. This is why so many people suffer, because they let external control internal. And we know this the other way around. If you have chaos in your head, you'll have chaos in your life. I don't care how fucking fit, ripped, rich, whatever you are. If there's chaos in here, there'll be chaos out there. This is why I've coached billionaire clients who have been the most miserable people I've ever met in my life. Because they have everything apart from the things that they truly wanted, which was to feel loved and like they were enough. Which, funnily enough, was probably the driving thing behind their success. So it works in many different ways. But we have to understand, when we do take that power back, when you have that epiphany moment when you're like, right, I don't blame, I don't complain, I don't justify, I don't make excuses, and nobody can make me feel a certain way unless I allow them to. Because I do not allow the external to affect my internal. So as I said, it's not about blaming yourself, it's not about making yourself feel bad. It's about drawing a line into the sand. And if you're still doing that, I've still done it in the last month, guys. So again, don't feel bad, right? But it's, as I said, it's about taking back control. And when you're in control, you're in charge. And that's when the dreams start to happen. When you can't control what's happening to you, but you can control how you respond to it, that's when you are becoming a very powerful person. Like, you can't control whether your partner decides to cheat on you or not, but you can control how you respond to it. You can't control whether a client decides to buy a product from you after a long sales process and high investment on your part, but you can control how you respond to it. You can't control whether you're going to get injured or not, but you can control how you respond to it. Like, you can control how you respond to everything in life, and that's your responsibility, which, funnily enough, is how the word was made. Because if you flip it back to front, responsibility is your ability to respond. So your ability to respond and not to allow the external to affect your internal is how you completely move to new levels of the game. And this is when you start to realize that you are the creator of your future. Unless it's something in the past that it can't change, if you ever say something about the future and you say words along the lines of "it is what it is" to yourself, give yourself a fucking slap in the face. Because it's not what it is. It's what you decide to make it. And the decisions that you make or don't make are what will shape your life. Stop lying. Stop blaming. Stop complaining. Stop justifying. And just take responsibility. And the truth is, I do this all the time now, don't I? Anything before that click of the finger doesn't even matter. Stop living in the past, okay? Stop waiting for circumstances to change to take action. Like, if something in your life has been bothering you for a long time and you're that, oh, I'm just gonna see how it goes for the next couple of months, and it's not getting any better. This is massive in relationships. If your relationship's been a bit shit for 3, 4, 5 years, it isn't just suddenly going to get better unless you take responsibility and either end it and move on or work out what needs to happen to make it better. Exactly the same with careers. You know, even friendships. They're not, someone's going, I saw a fucking funny meme the other day. I can't even say it on this. I don't think I'll say it on here. Like, no one, I'll post it in the group because it's just funny. No one's just going to come along and rescue you. Right? No one's just going to suddenly float up in a canoe, I'm trying not to laugh, into your lounge and come and get you from where you are and go, okay, I'll heal your relationship. Okay, I'll take you from the job you've been miserable in for the last 5 years. I'll start the business you've been thinking about for the last 5 years. I'll have that conversation with your boss, your partner, your kids, your friends. Like everyone in this group, I guarantee you without a doubt, maybe not everyone, but 90% of people have at least one friend that they know they just need to fucking get rid of. You know, the one that texts you all the time. Are you okay? Yeah, fine. All right. Have you fallen out with me? No, why not? Oh, you've not texted me for a few days. Yeah, I've been busy, sorry. Or can we just have a catch up? Can we just have a catch up? Can we just have a catch up? Can I moan to you? Can I moan to you? Can I moan to you? Yeah, we all know this. There's circumstances and situations that we need to take responsibility for, take control of and change. Because no one's going to do it for us. But the reality is most people spend their life blaming, complaining and justifying. Those three things will always keep you stuck. Like, think back in history, right? Name me one situation. Post it in the comments now. I remember this time 10 years ago, Steve, and I blamed this other person for everything that had happened in my life. Do you know what? It was one of the most euphoric experiences of my day. And from that day on, when I started blaming them for everything, all the success I'd ever dreamed of opened up for me. It just doesn't happen. Like, some people are just cunts, right? And they do cunty things. But you blaming them doesn't do anything about you outside of making you feel better about the action you're not taking. Because if you're blaming another person, you're focused on external, not internal. Conor McGregor says this all the time. If you listen to some of his reels and stuff, some of his interviews, sorry. Like, you're blaming them we blame other people to make ourselves feel better about what we're not doing. And then all the energy's on that situation and it's negative. Okay? But most people spend their whole life trying to blame, complain and justify about, one, why they are where they are, and two, normally, why it's not their fault, and three, why it's someone else's fault. Like, how is that whole thing that I've just mentioned there, how is that ever going to be a thought process and a mind system that leads down a positive road to success? It's not. It's going to keep you stuck. And do you know what? When someone's done something really fucking shit to you, I've been cheated on in the past. I've been lied to. I've had things stolen from me. I've been let down badly by people I loved. But me then blaming them for how I respond and behave doesn't help. But we think it does because in the moment it makes us feel better because we haven't found the strength to take control. This is why I said the one fundamental thing, right at the start of the training, the one fundamental thing that will change your life is when you understand that your health, your wealth, your happiness and your life, everything comes down to one simple fact: your responsibility for it. Other people's happiness isn't, yeah, it's great to make other people feel happy, but other people's happiness isn't your responsibility, yours is. Don't do something that's out of alignment with who you are to make another person happy. Fuck that. Quickest way to feel inauthentic. And another thing, when we're again, I just want a quiet, what, didn't you say anything? No, I couldn't be bothered with the argument. I just want a quiet life. Like, again, give yourself a slap if you say that. Because again, you're allowing other people to control your life. Don't do things you don't want to do. To go with the flow. Be you. Or you'll always feel inauthentic. And if you feel inauthentic in your head, you'll feel inauthentic in your life. Now, when this becomes truly life-changing is when it starts to happen like an automation without you even thinking about it. So you just be you and you actually start to have a conversation. Do I want to do this? No, I don't. Does this align with who I want to be? No. That's when we're taking responsibility. Like, not saying stupid things like, my friends made me drink. Fuck off and grow up. My friends made me eat cake. I just had a drink because everyone else was drinking and I felt awkward not doing it. Grow up, seriously. and I mean grow up with love, because that is a childhood habit that's still going through you, that you're just not even living the life that you want because you think it's going to upset other people. Imprint that on the backs of your eyelids. Other people's happiness is not my responsibility, mine is. Do you be, when you can truly do you and be you 24/7 with, unless you're being a twat, I'm not saying just go and do like stupid stuff and be an arsehole and not care what people think. Right, don't take it too far. But when you're just truly being you and you're being authentic and you're actually filtering every decision, do I want to go to the weekend? Do I want to go to that lodge with the girls this weekend and be around fucking lard asses eating 5,000 calories per day and drinking their own body weight in Prosecco to a level where I either feel uncomfortable not getting involved because they take the piss, or I end up just getting involved because my inner child's still there and I'm weak? And filtering that decision. No, I don't want to go. So say you don't want to go, right? Make the decision and be proud of it. Do you know what, actually, Sarah's watching as well. So I can share a really personal situation about Sarah and Mark. Sarah's now thinking, oh my God, what the fuck is he going to say? So there was this one time when they were in bed. No, I'm joking. I was due to go to Benidorm on Mark's stag party 2 weeks ago, was it, Sarah? 4 days in Benidorm, 17 lads, male who likes to be centre of attention, likes to be the leader, likes to be the operator of the show. And I just thought, why have you said yes? You know what's going to happen, Lee. You've just got into a great place with your relationship. You've just got into a great place with your business, great place with body, great place with fitness, injuries getting better all the time, life's great. So I had the balls to make the decision, and I rang Mark and I said, listen, I'm so sorry. And I felt a little bit tearful when I was saying it. And I'd actually rang Sarah before because I wanted to run it by Sarah before I told Mark. And I said, mate, I'm not coming to Benidorm. I paid for the flights, I paid for the hotel, so I can't do it for myself. I know what's going to happen. It's not even the fact that I'll get led astray. I will be the leader from the 6 a.m. beer in the airport. And it will be 4 days of absolute fucking carnage. I'll lose 4 weeks of my life afterwards. I'll be a complete wreck. I'll be miserable. I'll be mardy. I'll be depressed. I'll hate myself. And it will take me back to all those old memories. Mark was like, mate, I totally get it. As Sarah did. I totally understand. As long as you're at my wedding, that's all I care about. That's a true friend, right? That's a true friend. So if other people you then decide something like that, if something's like really kicking off inside of you and you're not wanting to do something, don't do it. Okay? And if the person that wants you to do it then tells you to do it or gets really upset because you don't when you've explained the reason why like that, then they were never a true friend to start with. So if you just keep doing things to make other people feel happy, again, you'll feel like just inauthentic, and you'll go back to having chaos in your head and chaos in your outside world because you're not being you and doing you. Okay? So what will happen when these situations arrive and we do things that are out of alignment with us? Again, we're all still going to do it and make mistakes, right? But it's then learning from it. So I only really made that decision based on a situation from the past when I hadn't said yes, and I convinced myself that I was going to go to this thing and I was going to be a good boy and I wasn't going to drink. Did it happen? Did it fuck? Okay? So again, if you have made these decisions in the past, don't berate yourself, but also, don't go along with it and then blame other people at the end of it. Because as I said, as long as you're trying to blame other people for anything in your life and you're not being true to yourself, you're always going to feel stuck. But again, I get why we do it, right? So these are, some examples that I wrote down from different people. So when we've done something that's like not good, right? Isn't let's just call it, when we've done something that isn't an action that aligns with the future that we say we want, We feel guilt, we feel shame, and then we create a smokescreen as to why we did it so we can make ourselves feel better. So rather than just saying, I ate a load of shit at the weekend because I've got serious food issues and I struggle with food and I really need some help, can you help me? Oh, it's my parents' fault that I'm fat because they always fed me cake when I was younger. Well, your parents aren't feeding you cake now, are they? You're a grown fucking adult who's in control of what you eat. Doesn't mean you're perfect. Doesn't mean you're not going to fuck up. Doesn't mean you're not going to slip up. But if every time you slip up, rather than going, okay, I take responsibility, I did that, I'm in charge of my future, I'm the creator of my destiny, now let's move forward. What why lesson apply? What did I learn? Why did it happen? What lessons did I learn and how am I going to apply it moving forwards? That's taking responsibility. And that's what gets results, because it's not your parents' fault you're overweight, right? You know, you didn't have a drink because it was your husband's fault because of something that he did and he had a massive argument. You had a fucking drink because you chose to have a drink, right? It's not society's fault. It's not the menopause's fault. It's not the thyroid gland's fault. It's not your metabolism's fault. It's not your parents' fault. All that has to be dropped, right? And when you do, life really changes for you, but it's hard to do it, right? Do you know why it's so hard to do it? Who knows why it's so hard to do it? Because you no longer have any excuses. I can be, you guys know I'm always brutally honest with you guys. Like, there were times when I do things that were totally out of alignment with who I am and who I want to be and who I'm moving towards being. And again, this is the other side of, so I've discussed Mark being a true friend then, but also a true person who's willing to give you the honesty to me, and that's Nat. So again, I've still done this, guys. I'm not calling anyone out here. I've done this in the last 3 years. Nat's got the balls to me to say, fuck off, absolute smokescreen. And after you initially react to it and want to fight back, no, it's fucking not. And you sit down and you breathe and you sit with the thoughts and you go, actually, yeah, it is. I'm full of shit there. Sorry about that. I was full of shit. I'm going to take responsibility for that and I'm going to move forward. Actually, that argument was my fault. I'm going to say sorry. And I'm going to move forward. So again, this is the difference between winners and losers, right? Some rise above and some make excuses. But 99% of people who win and fail, they all had shit with their parents, right? They all have shit in their relationships. They've all had past stuff happen to them, bereavements. Most of the most successful people I know have had the most amount of adversity. Okay, but they take responsibility and handle it. Tell you one of the most impressive guys I know who was he wasn't in Elite X with me, he was in Alliance with me. I'll post a link to his Instagram in the private group later. Tyler Saunders. He's got one leg, completely just one leg, right? He can clean and press from the floor 60, 70 kilograms. He does high rocks. He squats, one leg. And I'm not talking chopped off at the knee, prosthetic limb. I'm talking there is no fucking leg whatsoever. Chopped off at the hip. Doesn't make excuses. Takes responsibility. Speaks on stage. Tells his story. How does that make you feel when you're crying about your plantar fasciae? How does that make you feel when you're crying about the fact that you've just got no feeling in this hand, Lee, and that your biceps shrunk about an inch? He's got one fucking leg. Taking responsibility. Doesn't make excuses. Doesn't say, oh, I can't do X because I'm disabled. He says, I can do anything. Same background, different response. And this is what we need to understand, right? Whatever's happened has happened. Winners take responsibility, search for the lessons, and move forward. Losers look to blame someone as to why it happened and then still continue to justify why they're not taking action and moving forwards. Like if you don't like where you are, knuckle down and fucking work harder. It's that simple. Again, I'm going to put Laura's transformation in the private group later. It is insane. It's off the scale. And those of you that are part of the body transformation plan as well, or in Unbreakable Elite, not just Mindset Mastery, like, again, it's the same, like, it's the same fucking, I don't know what word I'm looking for, formula that gets results. Steve King's pasting it away there on the Stairmaster, right? I've told him to do 45 minutes every day. He's an ex-army boy, so he does what he's told. He's doing 45 minutes every day. I've given him a strict set diet to stick to. He sticks to it. I've given Sarah Starkey a strict set diet to stick to. She sticks to it. She's lost 4, 5, 6, however many stone. 8, 9, 10, 11. In the best, about to get married in the best shape of her life. It's a simple formula to success. Follow the plan. Don't make excuses. Don't blame, complain, and justify. There's people in this group who are tracking 4 Greg's fucking sausage rolls on their MyFitnessPal. I'm categorically sure that I never did that. Or red velvet cake for breakfast. And then fucking moaning 5 days later because they've not lost any weight. Well, I'm not fucking surprised. You've not done the work. And then the head goes into, oh, it must be Lee's fault. It must be my thyroid. It must be the menopause. It's not, right? You'll never move. Some of you are going to think I'm an absolute twat saying all this. I don't really care because I want you to move forward and succeed. And you won't until you handle this in your head. Right, do the work. If you're not happy with where you are, do the work. Again, there's people posting or putting in their check-ins that they're struggling with their mindset. They haven't done any fucking personal development for 7 days. Have you read any of the morning posts that I write every morning? No. Have you done any personal development this week? No. But you're struggling with your mental health? Yeah. No fucking shit. You're not tracking your food? Oh yeah, but straight into a reason why you're not tracking your food. No! You're not tracking your food because you fucking chose not to. Did you go to the gym this week? No, because of set line of excuses about husband, kids, work and everything else. No, you didn't go to the gym this week because you chose not to. And the decisions that you make week on week are what will shape your future and shape your success. And yes, I'm getting energetically wound up now because I want more for all of you. And as long as we continue to keep making excuses about why you are, where you are, along with the work that you didn't do to get the results that you're moaning that you don't have, you're always going to stay stuck, and I don't want that for you. But we can't drink every weekend and then moan about the lack of progress. You know, so many people in this group can't even track food for 1 week. Can't even not drink alcohol for 1 week. Can't even attend all training sessions for 1 week. 1 fucking week. And yet we're disappointed with the results. Try being disappointed with your efforts and reframe it. See how that lands. Try being disappointed with yourself. Try taking responsibility, but then not berating yourself and moving forwards, because the decisions and the actions you make are what will shape your life. Okay? Again, I say this all the time, and wow, and this is harsh, right? You don't hate your body. You hate the fact that your body is a reflection of your choices. a reflection of your decisions that you're in charge of. But now's where I'm going to spin this into, you probably feel like I'm an absolute arsehole and I've smashed some of you into the middle of next week and I'm horrible and I'm vile and nasty, and pulling people down and shaming them isn't a way to coach. But here's where the mic drop moment comes in. If you take responsibility for those choices and understand that they led you to where you are, you can take responsibility for the new choices which will lead you to a new place, right? It's the same thing. But winners refuse to be victims. Like Tyler. He doesn't talk about the fact that he's only got one leg. He talks about the fact that he can fucking snatch and clean and jerk and do high rocks with one leg because he's a fucking warrior. He doesn't blame. He doesn't complain. He doesn't make excuses. Look at anyone who's transformed their body and life. Anyone right across the board, right? They drew a line in the sand and said, enough is enough. I take responsibility for my future. I take responsibility for my decisions. I'm making the decision to change because I no longer want to accept this level of discipline for myself. They make a decision to change. And then they put it into action relentlessly day after day. It can't just be a decision. It has to be a decision. Not a half-hearted decision. Not I'm going to hope for a better week. Not I'm going to try better this week. Not I'm going to see how this week goes. A decision to commit. To do the work no matter what. And the time is there, right? If you want it. Now back me up on this. When I did my Y3T Master Trainer qualification with Neil Hill and Dr. Paul Rimmer, I got up to study at 3:30 a.m. every morning. 3:30 until 8:30 until I went to work. Every day. The time is there if you want the thing. If you think you don't have time to train, get up 1 hour earlier than you already get up, and you have an hour to train every day. If you can't do that, you simply don't want it enough. And that might sound harsh. Every single person in this group can get up an hour earlier. By the way, do you know if you get up 2 hours earlier every day for an entire month, it's an entire extra month. You get 13 months in a year. I don't know why that's suddenly made me so excited. It's taken me back to when I understood it, that I thought it was fucking great. This is brilliant. If I get up at 3, not 5, I get 13 months. What shall I call my extra month? Oh, I'll call it I'm a fucking warrior. But the time is there. You have to want the thing. And do you know what? If you don't want it, walk away. Leave the group. Drop me a message today. I'm out. I can't do this. But you don't want that, or you wouldn't be here, right? But the reality is, so many people want the fucking transformation without changing. You want to have better mental health without working on it every day. You want to lose weight without tracking food and giving up fucking cake and coq au vin and fucking Chardonnay. Right? You want a better relationship, but you don't want to have the difficult conversations. You want a better business, but you don't want to do sales calls or do a reel on social media. Okay? So we can't have the transformation without changing. That's what so many people do. Like in the past, there's so many people that come on board and they sign up, right? And sorry if this is you, I don't think anyone's currently done this, and they're like, yeah, what I need to do with nutrition is, and what works for me is, I'm like, so you basically want to carry on eating everything that you've eaten, even though you've come to me because you weigh 4 stone more than you should. You don't want to change your training. You want to carry on doing what you're doing because you enjoy it. And essentially, really what you've done is you've given me some money and then told me exactly how you want your plan to look, which is about 5% different from your current life. And then you want to get results. No. It doesn't work that way. Right? You have to change. You have to sacrifice. You have to improve your decision making, your discipline. You have to get up earlier. You have to work harder. And guess what? The most amazing thing in the world is the more you progress and get results, the harder you have to work to keep going, because the body adapts. Steve's going to be doing 90 minutes on the Stairmaster in June. No, it's not. It's not to make him keel over and die. So make a decision today. Like, if that's made you feel like shit, great. Now make yourself feel phenomenal. Now make yourself feel like an action taker. Make the decision. If you are not tracking your food every day accurately and you're not seeing results, with love, you are a muppet. Because you're not doing the one thing that you need to do to get results. Only you know why you're not doing that. If you're really unhappy and miserable and you don't want to drink, but you still keep getting pulled back into it by your fucking loser mates who want to keep you on their level, then make the decision. And if you're not, only you know why you're not making that decision. But make the decision today to, if you want the body, you want the life, you want the business, you want to get lean, you want to lose weight, you want to feel happier, you want to be a better parent, a better partner, a better lover, I don't know where that came from, and everything in between, make the decision today to do the work, to not accept anything less than 100% from yourself, to not settle for mediocre, because that decision, like just making that decision today, leads to action. If anyone watches this video today and doesn't track their food or train, then because decisions lead to action. Action leads to confidence. Confidence leads to results. It leads to progress. It leads to momentum. And you only need to get momentum. Like the difference, guys, like you will all know this because some of you have done it. And I don't give a fuck what you did this weekend. It doesn't matter. It's gone. You could have bathed in Greg's cheese pasties and drunk 4 bottles of wine and watched Netflix all weekend for all I care, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's gone. What matters is today. And you can make that decision today. And in just 7 days of tracking your food, getting up earlier, watching a mindset video day, hydrating, practicing positivity, not telling any lies, not making any smoke screens, not blaming, complaining and justifying, giving love, compassion and empathy to all other people, not jealousy and greed and negativity. You can gain, I've said this, so you can gain so much momentum in 7 days. It's actually like off the scale. But it starts with making that decision today. What decisions do you need to make today? What have you not been doing that you need to do? What conversations have you not had that you need to have? Do you know what my decision is today? And you guys can all hold me responsible. Is to start my podcast. It's not fucking hard, right? Do you know what I actually need to do? I need to go on Amazon today. Jan's going to piss herself and she'll definitely hold me responsible. I need to go on Amazon and I need to buy a microphone and I need to ask ChatGPT what the best recording software is, and I need to press record and I need to talk for an hour. I'm quite good at that. Okay? Can probably start by telling a story about my past. And then there's a website called Transmitter FM that you upload that audio in and it sends it out to Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, and all the other things all at once. I think I said I was going to do that in January. Yes, what a twat. Imagine someone tell me how many weeks we're into this year. Let's guess and say it's 21. Wonder if my business would have moved forward if I was 21 podcasts deep now. Wonder if more people would know about me. Wonder if my audience would be bigger. Wonder if I would have impacted quite a few lives. Just do it. Take control. Someone fucking make me do that. Jan, don't let me not do that. So I look a right twat next Monday. Anyway, stop waiting and start acting. And become the leading, you know, when I am taking the piss a little bit, you know, I always embellish things to make it lighthearted, but that's a true story about a group of friends I know, the girls at the lodge, right? Unbelievable. Like, planning. Let's plan. We're all quite unhappy with our weight, but this weekend for 3 days, let's plan and go and ruin our lives together. They all put about £120 in a kitty and buy enough fucking wine and junk food to fucking sink the Titanic, and then lock themselves in a lodge for 3 whole days and binge on it. Mind bending. Okay? But this is the reality. I know at least 4 of them don't want to fucking be there. So play the leading role in the movie of your life, not the extra. Put your hands up if you want to be an extra. Good. So play the leading role. No, I don't want to be there. I don't do that shit. I don't go to those places. I don't do that crap with that people. Like, I expect better of myself. Right? And do you know why this is so hard? I've done this so many times, and sometimes it's been that hard when I've got that tired of my own BS that it's actually like upset me and made me cry. Like, the reason why this is so hard or not easy is because it requires you looking at yourself straight in the mirror, like I'm looking at you guys now, straight in the eye, and being brutally honest with yourself. Because the reality is, so many of us don't just tell porcupines and not take responsibility to other people. We can't even be honest with ourselves. That's why I said Tom picked up on it. He called that podcast Stop Telling Lies, or Stop Lying to Yourself. That's how I changed my life from we did. But I want you to get this so clear, because whatever you've not been doing that's holding you back from living the life that you want, and I want the best life for every single one of you. This is why I do what I do. I don't want anyone to ever be unhappy. But it's not about self-loathing. It's not about berating yourself. You can't shame yourself into moving forwards, is what I'm trying to say. You can't shame yourself into losing weight. You can't shame yourself into having better mental health. But it's about understanding, if you've made bad decisions, just fucking own them. I could, right off the top of my head, list out 10 really bad decisions I've made in the last 12 months. It's not about hiding from them. It's about owning them. And learning from them. And then moving forwards. Not about making yourself feel bad. It's about being honest with yourself. Okay? I made some bad decisions in the last 12 months. In fact, I've made some bad decisions in the last 3 years. I'm not going to berate myself for them. I'm going to learn from them. Because the future is also in the lessons of those mistakes and decisions. But you have to own them. I lost X amount of money on Y because so-and-so ripped me off. No, I made a bad decision and I didn't do my due diligence. How can I apply that moving forwards? You know? Whatever it is, take responsibility. Because when you own your own decisions, good or bad, again, this is why you'll just be okay with yourself. Do you know, when you get to a level where you can just go, do you know what, I fucked up there, I'm sorry. It's a really liberating place. But what we try to do sometimes, because we're ashamed, because we're guilty, because we're a little bit embarrassed sometimes, maybe. I've definitely experienced that. Fucking hell, I'm quite embarrassed about that. That was shocking. Like we then don't own it, and we need to own it and move forward. Now, I haven't got a microphone because I haven't bought one yet, but I'm going to buy one this week and start my podcast. What can I drop? We'll call this is the blue screen cleaner, which you all know by now. Drop moment. Listen to this so carefully and imprint it in your life. If you are responsible for your current situation and you've taken complete ownership and responsibility of it, what does that mean? It means you're also responsible for changing it, and you're responsible for creating a new one. It's the same thing. Boo! Hey, I created all that fucking chaos in the past, and I've owned it and I'm taking responsibility for it. Guess what that means? All that health and happiness in the future, I can create that too. You created the past, so you can create the future. But how can you create the future that you want if you've not taken responsibility for the fact that you created the past? You simply can't. Those two things have to align. This is why it's the fundamental step to moving forward. Shit, I created all that. Guess what that means? It means I can create all of that too. And that's when you'll understand you're in past. You're unstoppable. When you understand you created your past, you can take control of your future. But you can't take control of your future until you've taken ownership and responsibility for your past. Because you're still saying, that wasn't my fault. I did that because that person did that. This was my dad's fault. This was my mum's fault. This was the fucking cat's fault. This was my first girlfriend's fault. I behave like this because my first girlfriend kissed another boy. I punch people because of X, Y, and Z. No, you're never going to be able to create your own future. Because what is happening mentally, I'm fucking doing about 10 mic drops here. If you're saying that other people were in charge of your past and it's their fault what happened, what are you saying about your future? Same thing, I'm not in control of it. What will be, will be. It is what it is. Well, it is if you want to be an extra. And that's the shift that I realized this week in this journaling that will change your life. If I can accept fully that I created my past, then I can take charge and fully create my future. If I believe the past wasn't in my control, then subconsciously I believe the future isn't either. And this is why you don't lose weight. This is why you don't go to the gym. This is why you don't start the business. This is why you don't start or end the relationship. This is why you don't take control. Because you don't believe you're in control of your future. You believe someone else is. And if you're not careful, when your future ends up exactly the same as your past, you'll be in the exact same place, blaming someone else for your future. It's the same thing. You're the writer of your movie. You're the writer of your book. You're the master of your destiny. You're the creator of your future. But you can't create your future until you've taken responsibility for your past. So start now, right? Start today. You guys know I'm leaving. I love this as well. Because some people will never get to this part of the training. Same people who don't know anything about the limiting belief tasks last week and haven't sent them to me. Because they obviously don't know about them because they didn't watch the training. Many of them are probably struggling with their mental health and mindset. Anyway, I'm being a twat now. So start looking at every area of your life today. Training, diet, fitness, finances, relationship, mindset. Where are you winning and where are you losing? Where are you progressing and where are you stuck? And then ask yourself this one soul-destroying question that if you have the balls or the ovaries to do it, it will change your life. The question is, what role have I played in this? Not my husband, not my wife, not my mum, not my dad, not my teachers, not my past. What role have I played in this? Like, you guys know when I worked with Nikki V. She's incredible. She would sit me down and she'd say, every piece of pain in your life currently that you've just moaned like a little child about to me, Lee, she's brutal, for the last hour, is your fault. It's your responsibility. You created it. And she's right. And you can't accept it. You try and argue. Like, I was moaning about a certain situation. You know, this person's just spending this amount of money. Da, 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 da. Have you told them not to? No. Did you actually tell them the opposite? Yeah. So who's responsible for it? You. So why are you moaning about it? No way out. She could twist it in seconds. Like, everything we moan about, we created in some way. We're responsible for. Either because we were responsible in creating it, or we're responsible for not dealing with it. So where am I winning? Where am I losing? Where am I progressing? Where am I stuck? And then, what role have I played in this? What decisions have I made? What actions have I taken? Or what inactions led me here? What actions led me here? That's a good flip that people never realise. It's not just it's not what actions have led me here. It's often what inactions have led me here. It's not just the decisions we make, it's the decisions we don't make. But this is how you take back power. Like, do you know, like, even me, look at my energy changing now, look at my voice. When you truly take back power and go, I'm in charge, I'm responsible, I refuse to settle for less, I refuse to not take control. It doesn't matter what happens because I'm in charge of my own life. That's how you take back power. And when you understand that your choices up until this point have shaped your life, you will understand that your choices can reshape your life. Like, every single one of you can take your businesses or careers to any level you want. Anyone in this group could become a billionaire if that's what floats your boat. Every single one of you can have the best physique you've ever had in your life. But you have to understand that if you're not there yet, that's because your past choices shaped your current situation. But the brilliant thing is, your future choices can reshape your future decisions, your future life. Okay? So stop being reactive today and start being proactive. Don't wait for the pain to get so bad that you have to have the conversation. Don't wait until you've gained another stone to start tracking food. Don't wait until you're suicidal to start working on your mental health. Like, mental health and mindset needs to be worked on when you're on fire. It's not just for when you're feeling sad. You should love and respect and look after your body 24/7, 365 days a year. Not wait until you're fat and unhappy to take action. This is the shift, like as well. When I say about not shaming yourself into action, like train and eat well and track your food and do mindset because you love your body and you respect yourself and you want to be happy. If you're trying to lose weight because you hate your body, reframe it. I've decided to make healthier choices because I love my body. I've only got one and I need to live in it for the rest of my life. Now, the reason why it's so hard is because we all love to make excuses. Because when we don't show up, when we don't do the work, we feel embarrassed, we feel ashamed. What's the quickest outlet to making myself feel better about the work that I didn't do? I can either make an excuse or I can blame someone else. I didn't go to the gym because of X. No, you didn't go to the gym because you chose not to go to the gym. You guys saw Laura Myers was Lindley. because she's married, transformation yesterday, yeah? So this is a nurse who does 12-hour shifts, has 2 kids and a husband, and would come straight out of that shift for 45 minutes and go straight to the gym after nursing for 12 solid hours. That's what gets results. She could very easily have said every single time, oh, fucking hell, Lee, I tried to go to the gym, but I was just exhausted after a 12-hour shift, and then this happened in the shift, and then that happened in the shift, and then the kids this, and the husband that. No, you chose not to go. Okay? So taking responsibility eliminates excuses. That's why so many people won't do it. Shit, if I really commit to this, I can't keep telling the story about how it's different for me. Shit, if I really commit to getting my dream body, I can't keep telling the story about how I'm too busy with work. Nearly all business owners do that, by the way. Like, our work will never fucking end. Like, I could work for the next 72 years, 24 hours a day, and I would never read all the books that I want to read and achieve what I want to achieve. So you have to have a cut-off point. Like, any business owners listening, like, you're not going to go bankrupt because you stop and go to the gym for an hour. What's really happening subconsciously is it's much easier to carry on sitting at your desk than it is to get up and go to the gym for an hour. So you choose that. So we're back to choosing the decisions. And when we take responsibility for all of our actions, we're completely eliminating excuses, because you can't have those two things. But it's about replacing self-pity with self-discipline. Okay, it's about choosing growth and contribution over comfort. And it's about refusing to settle for a mediocre life. Because any single one of us could be dust tomorrow. Just like Marcus said to me, we're all going to be dust one day, mate. It's not a very good accent, but I tried. You know? And that could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year. Yeah, I love that mindset frame. Like, how would you be operating if you knew you only had 12 months to live? What would you be doing? And kind of what I want to finish on here, even though I've got about 10 more pages, might just keep going, is to understand that it's not fucking easy. Running a business is not easy. Losing weight is not easy. Changing your career, having difficult conversations with your partner, starting a relationship, ending a relationship, moving house again for the fucking 7th time in however many years. In case anyone's failed to notice the beautiful green wall behind me, it's not a screen. It's not easy. Making big decisions is not easy. Taking a chance on something that you know feels right when you could have gone for the safe option isn't easy. But safety and comfortable will never lead to you living a world-class life. And there'll always be challenges, there'll always be setbacks. This is what I need you to understand, those of you who probably thought I was a bit of a twat earlier. Like, there's always going to be challenges, there's always going to be setbacks. Just because I've had a rant and a shout, like, you're not going to suddenly, right, that's it, I'm tracking my food today, Lee's right, do you know what? I've swallowed my pride, he's absolutely right, I've got triggered, but I've let it go because I've done some breathing. I'm not showing up at the level that I need to show up, but I'm going to start doing that from today when I draw a line under the sand. And you track your food perfectly today, and you go to the gym and you get your steps done, and you check in and you ask for help when you need it, and you do your personal development work, and you share love and positivity and compassion and empathy, not hate and jealousy and greed. And then it's not going to plan after 4 days, and something happens and you fall off the wagon, even though you can't fall off a wagon because it wasn't an accident, because nobody pushed you. Or something happens in your life, there's an event, should we call them? There's an adversity, there's a challenge, and there'll be setbacks. But the power is in your consistency. And I'm going to share something else here, personal, in a minute. I think some people might think, really? Would you really do that? And the truth is, I've got proof that I have. Some people would absolutely think that's abnormal, but I think it's completely abnormal, and I think it's why I win and succeed. So the road won't be easy, and the road will be lonely, but it's a better road. Like, do you want to be the woman with her kids, with a banging body, walking around the pool, feeling happy, confident, and proud, not having to worry about money because she built the business up and everything in life's amazing and she's thriving and she's got a loving relationship and all of those things that we all want and desire? Or do you want to be the fat cow in the lodge drinking 3 bottles of wine, eating cake, talking about why life's different for you, around other people who want to tell that same story and they actually want to keep you on their level? Because when you start growing, this is why people are negative towards us when we start getting better bodies, better lives, better businesses, working harder, saying no to negative people. They get angry at you and they try to pull you down. Because 2 things: 1, you're highlighting what they haven't yet found the strength to do, and 2, they want to keep you on their level. So it is a little bit quieter at the top, and it's a little bit more lonely on this road. And the road won't be easy, but it's a better road. And your power is in your consistency. As I said, there'll always be challenges and setbacks, but what we need to understand is it's about pushing forward when things haven't gone your way. I hope at the end of the year, what's today's date? 27th of May. I'm looking back on this live and saying, well, there's two things. One's a hope, and you're going to be like, Lee, you tell us that hope isn't a strategy, because this one I can't control. It's one thing I'm going to guarantee. One is that I'll have done a podcast every week from the first week in June, 7 months. The second is I actually hope and think that the second half of this year, business-wise, will probably be my best year in business. Because the first 5 months of this year have been a fucking car crash. I'm not joking. The webinar didn't fucking work. The fucking lead magnet didn't work. I fucking spent a lot of fucking money on things that didn't fucking work. And I was going down a road I didn't really want to go down. I felt out of alignment. I felt awkward, and it's taken me a long time to realise it. But now I've realigned and I feel good and my energy's on fire. And I kept pushing through that tough period. And now I've just pulled out all the lessons. And I'm not blaming anyone for what happened, because I've taken ownership and responsibility. And I think because I've pushed through the shit period, the good period's coming. That was just a season. That was a season that I had to learn from. And it'll be the same, might be the same. Maybe you haven't fucking progressed with your physique how you wanted this year. Some of you haven't. Some of you haven't lost a fucking pound since January. Some of you have gained weight. But if you're still here, what are you doing? You've just pushed through the tough season. So keep fucking pushing. If you're going through hell, keep fucking going. Because the power is in your consistency, not just winning all the time. But again, make the decision today. No more 50%. No more going with the flow. No more being a dead fish. No more excuses. No more moaning. No more blaming. No more complaining. No more weakness. Nobody wants you to listen to you moan unless you're having passionate sex, in which case it's great. But outside of that, nobody wants to hear it. Don't put that shit on other people. Have conversations about things that aren't working and how to move forward, but get a fine line between what that conversation looks like and what hating, blaming, moaning and complaining is. Because as I said, everything in your life is up to you. Doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter what happened, doesn't matter what's happened in the first 6 months of this year, as long as you've taken the lessons from it. Okay? Just let it go. Nobody cares, and nor should you. Not when you're focused on your future. But to wrap up, this was going to be a second bit of training, but I'm just going to carry on, guys, because I'm in quite good flow here, and I think this is cool. So everything that I've mentioned so far becomes a lot easier when we're controlling one thing. And that thing is your energy and your state. My energy is great at the moment. So guess what? I'm making great decisions. Difficult conversations seem easy. Okay? But your state and your thoughts, your decisions, your actions all come down to your energy. What you're thinking right now comes down to where your energy's at. My energy's great, so I'm thinking I'm going to take the fucking world on and smash the back doors out today because my energy's great. Because I went to bed early, I had a great night's sleep, I did some awesome journaling this morning. Me and Sarah have had a great session. I'm in a good place. My mental state is controlled by my energy. Okay? My diet is on point. I'm working with a coach again. I'm filling my body with good foods. I don't eat any junk food. Cut the crap out. I've cut the Haribos out. I was in a bad place with that, eating a bag of squashes every fucking day. Oh, I'll have them post-workout because I need to spike my glycogen. No, Lee, you just fucking like squashes. Okay? I'm not joking, guys. Every day. I am perfect. Still look shredded because it's very hard for me not to look shredded because I've worked on it for 10 years. Okay? My hydration's on point. Taking salts every day. I'm around good people. Okay? Standing up in my mastermind, talking, having more confidence. I'm doing my personal development every day. Started Mindset Mastery. I'm actually helping people for virtually nothing with their mental health because that whole course is just £49 a month. So again, I feel like I'm giving, not taking. So I'm in a high energy state. And when I'm in a high energy state, I take action, I make good decisions. However, when you eat shit, when you binge on carbs in the afternoon and then wonder why you don't have any energy, when you're eating Greg's pasties for breakfast or cake, pizza every weekend, drinking wine, drinking champagne, snoozing, not training, fucking moaning all the time, boozing, watching Netflix, hanging around with negative people, making excuses. What does that lead to? That doesn't lead to action taking. That leads to poor energy, procrastination, doing nothing, staying stuck, and then blaming everyone else. So high energy, right? Everything energetic comes from having an elite level of self-care. Primarily training, nutrition, mindset, hydration, sleep. If your sleep's crap, generally life will be crap. If you're not hydrated, you're always going to have brain fog. If you're smashing too many carbs, you're always going to feel sleepy. If you're eating too much food, you're going to feel sleepy. If you're not working on your mind every day, it's going to become the naughty dog again that starts having negative thoughts. Ants and automatic negative thoughts. So here is something that I think might shock you. But as I said, it's something that I've done several times in this year, in the past 5 years, sorry. And outside of it being Logan or Nat, the difference between success and failure is being able to control that state. Because that's when you take responsibility. When you can't control what's happening to you, but you can control how you respond to it, that's where your power was at. Now, you look at the greats in the world, right? And you think Ronaldo just wants to get up and play football every day. You think, trying to think of other examples. You know, people that are on TV, actors, they just want to get up and act every day. People who speak on stage just love speaking on stage. People with great physiques can't wait to get to the gym. It's simply not true. And that'll be another lie that you've told yourself. Like Nat and I had this discussion at length yesterday. Like, we're like, I bet people think we don't struggle with food. Trust me, we struggle with food. People think that we just can't wait to get to the gym and train every day. Trust me, there's many days when we don't want to train. But because it's important to us, we've got to a state where we can control our energy and get the work done anyway. That's the difference between winning and losing, right? And I've done it to such a level where if I almost guarantee, unless it had just happened in the couple of hours before, if I'd had if my best friend had been killed 24, 48 hours ago, I could still get up and do this live exactly how I've done it now, and I would. Because I can control my state. The external doesn't affect my internal. And I would journal it and think he'd be proud of me for stepping up and doing that. And I'd probably tell a story about him. And I might cry. But I'd still do the thing because I can control my energy. Whereas what most people do is as soon as something happens in the external, it controls their internal, and then they don't do the thing. You guys know my granddad brought me up from being born, apart from a period when I was taken away, right? When he died, I went down to Taunton in Somerset on that day, and the first thing that I did was found a gym to join and went and got all my food and continued as normal. Because I wasn't letting the external infect my internal. I could have made a decision to sit in the room drinking gin with everyone else, and then how would I have felt the next day? If he was looking down, which would he have gone, oh boy, I can't believe you went and did a chest session 24 hours after I'd popped my clogs? He'd be like, no, fucking good lad, well done. Okay? So that's an extreme example, but I want that to hit home. Because when you can control your energy, like, don't wait to feel motivated to take action. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait until your relationship's got that bad that it has a massive blow up. Don't wait until your career's that bad that you're like, literally, you've got that pure like Friday night euphoria, Monday morning blues kind of thing. Like, don't wait for something to happen to start the business. You could all be dust one day. Like, don't wait for others to speak highly of you. This is what else I wrote down. Speak highly of yourself. Be your own best friend. Be your own biggest cheerleader. We know this. I've said this millions of times. You know, what you say about yourself is the single most important thing in the world, because you're in your own head all day. But again, start to think of that now in your life. Where am I letting the external affect my internal? Because successful people do not allow external circumstances to dictate their internal world. I wrote that down in absolutely huge capital letters, because that's the key take home. That's the number one thing I want you to take home. You can choose your state, but your state will always primarily come from having an elite level of self-care, which is the training, the nutrition, and the mindset. Because when your energy's on fire, you're on fire. When your energy's great, you make great decisions. When your energy's low, you either don't make the decision at all, or you make poor decisions. You make decisions out of reactiveness, out of scarcity. When your energy's high, you can control the decisions because you plan the day. Because it doesn't matter what's happening around you. It matters what's happening inside of you. And that's the only thing that you can really control. We can't control people. We can't control society. We can't control how much weight we're going to lose. We can't control how much success we're going to have this year. But we can control where we're operating from internally. And when we do, and you understand that you control that, you're responsible for it. And as we said, the fundamental single thing to take away from this entire training is that whether it's health, wealth, or happiness, in any area of life, our success is our responsibility. Guys, I love you all. Have the best day.